Joining me this week are two contributors with equally high levels of Leinster fandom and knowledge. But when it comes to predicting matches, well, let's just say they offer differing approaches, which could be identified by the labels Team Stats versus Team Vibes. Now, representing Team Stats is someone making his 41st Harpin appearance, although I'm hearing rumors he was also moonlighting during the Women's Six Nations on the excellent pod, Mother Ruckers, the Irish Women's Rugby Podcast. Warm welcome back to Mr. Keano Miller.
Thanks for having us, Jeff. Yeah, well, as you can see today, I'm trying to get with team vibes to try and make me feel better about the worst feeling win I've had watched Leinster have in quite a long time, but it's not really working. So I'm gonna give up on that. Yeah, the women's pod, absolutely brilliant. Really loving that, and we're planning on coming back for the Women's World Cup, if not before. So keep an eye out for that, everyone.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. And proudly wearing the colors for Team Vibes is someone earning cap number 11. Hello once more to Mr. David Cordial.
Good to be here, Jeff. Always, as always, representing the people who know absolutely nothing, but never let that hold them back.
I tell you, we're getting a WWE vibe for this. You both got your own entrances now. You're going to set the standard for everyone else when they come on, you know? But listen, when it comes to their respective predicting philosophies, if you want to see how they turn out in practice, just take a look at the latest standings in our Harpin Super Brew League every Wednesday on our blog. I'll just leave that one there for now. Okay, let's crack on with our feature match of the week, which was, of course, Leinster v Glasgow in round 18 of the 24-25 BKT United Rugby Championship. It was played at the Aviva Stadium on Saturday, May the 17th. Now, we're trying out a new format on these pods. We used to go with the match timeline, but for the next while, we're going with a more topic-based approach. This week, we're starting with Keano. Now, we're not exactly wild about how this particular match played out, but Leinster did win, so we should probably start on something positive. And do you like to harp on player of the match, Mr. Tommy O'Brien?
Yeah, like it's a hell of a match to try and grab something positive from, which is weird to say after winning against last year's champions. But amongst them was our friend from New Zealand, Mr. Barrett, who really showed his class. We all knew he had, but also the guy I'm going to talk about now for a little while, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy, anyone who's watched Leinster, which I presume most people listen to this pod have done for the last while, knows that Tommy's had a huge amount of potential all along, and he's just been horribly hamstrung to coin a phrase by injuries, and it's really curtailed his development as a player and stopped him reaching the potential that we all know he has. This match was a great example of the potential we all knew he had all along. I mean, both sides of the ball. It was a cagey match, and yet he managed to shine. Um, in attack, I mean, early on in the second half. Sorry, in attack altogether, he had 7 carries for 70 meters. 10 meters a carry on the wing is pretty impressive. Two clean breaks, none too shabby. Um, Early on in the second half, he was part of that drive, which kind of ended up getting Leinster over the line, as it turned out. Really quick start after half came back. Um, had a line break up through midfield off of a half gap from a line out and got like 30 meters off that one. And that was kind of really the start of Leinster's forward momentum into towards Glasgow's 22 and try line. And then, what was it, like a minute or two later, he broke up the right wing. Lovely trailing line on Keenan. Offloaded back inside. It came to nothing on the other end eventually, unfortunately, as we all know, Prendergast and that just about knocked on, which was real shame. But he definitely was contributing hugely. And it wasn't even just the kind of the highlight reel stuff. He was offering himself inside and out. He was chasing kicks hard. He was always available in a broken play. He was drawing defenders, opening up space, particularly valuable in a game like that, where execution was iffy elsewhere. I mean, you could see Barrett was pretty much searching him out on that right wing. He could see that he was really in having the time of his life almost. He was in great form, and that was the key to going forward, was that right wing. And yeah, absolutely, they worked really well together, worked really nicely. He's also got a kicking threat. We didn't really see that in this game, but he has that. So he's a real proper all-round back three threat. And it wasn't just his attack work either. He was really good in defense too. As we all know, if you haven't watched the YouTube highlight reel of Tommy O'Brien's tackles, go off and do it. And come back then to the podcast because it's worth your while. It's about 7 minutes of Tommy absolutely melting people, be it an open play or over the. He loves melting people in touch, and I love that as well. That just the slap bang gone. Um, they think they're in for a try, and then suddenly they're not. But yeah, his defensive contributions in this game as well were brilliant. It was early in the first half. He did made a wonderful try saver on Kyle Stain with Barrett and Keenan, I think, just nearby. He can also take a hit. It was Tom Jordan, I think, early in the second half, absolutely slammed him. But he was bounced up into the next phase, just proper workhorse Leinster back stuff, the kind of stuff that really exemplifies the level that Tommy's capable of. His discipline is great. His positioning is really good. He was maintained his width when he needed to helped hold that defensive shape when Glasgow were trying to stretch play, especially. Which was something we had issues with recently in matches I won't go on to talk about in any great detail because they're incredibly painful and I want to forget they ever happened. And yeah, kick positioning as well. Like he covered the backfield well when he was required to do it. Um, and when tempers flared, he wasn't afraid of getting stuck in either, which is great to see from the backs. It's nice to see. It's kind of the James Lowe principle of smiling and getting right in there as a back. It's nice to see some of the other backs taking up that mantle as well. Um, so yeah, I mean, there was very little he did wrong in that game, and it's fantastic to see that happen after all the waiting and hoping. When he went down for medical treatment, I was worried. I'm not gonna lie, that was concerning. I was like, oh no, not again. Not again. I just really couldn't have it happen to Tommy yet again.
That was right after he had done one clean break, and
Yeah.
we were all worried about him. And then literally seconds later, he did another one. It was like, I think he's okay. Thank God.
Yeah, apparently it just you would worry for him. You're practically
Absolutely.
like the mother hen. Don't touch that. Don't touch Tommy. He's a good boy. He can't get hurt again. Like he missed what? Most of 22, 23 and kind of a fair chunk of 23, 24. Opened the season with what, 3 tries in 3 games before he got injured again. And we were just worried that was, oh no, he's injured again. But he's come back and he's been a stalwart. He's been featured heavily in the sides pretty much throughout since he came back again. He got that a try and an assist against Ulster in April. That he got a kick through assist on that. And the last time we played like Glasgow. He was really strong on defense as well, and really reliable. I know Leo had words to say. He praised him for having the ability to turn 50-50s into momentum. Now that is something you can't put stats on, but it is a key skill, especially for Leinster going forward, the way it looks like we're going forward with looking to use transition ball more and attack off transition to be able to turn those 50-50s into momentum and to be able to look at an imperfect picture in front of you that's not set up in advance, it's broken play, and to be able to track through or run a trailing line on someone else who's carrying through into that broken play and make something of it. Go forward, get front foot ball going off of it. And that's invaluable, absolutely invaluable. Like you're looking at options now for the quarterfinals, and it's like Jimmy O'Brien's been doing very well. You'll have low back, I'd say, almost definitely on the left wing. It's hard to see Tommy being dropped on the right wing. He's in such good form, and I can only hope that he gets just rewards for starts through whatever level of knockouts we manage to get through in the end. But also he needs to go on that Ireland tour this summer. Absolutely 100%. He is the kind of winger we don't have many of in Ireland, and we certainly don't have many of in Leinster. And I want to see his development continue apace while he's fit, and hope to God he stays fit.
Yeah, I mean, we've had several. There's been several players over the years following Leinster where we've said, you know, they've gotten a couple of injuries and been like, geez, if only they could get game time. If only they could get game time. And you know, they come back and you're worried. But he's been it's happened. Seemed to happen more to him. But when that happens, and the more it happens, the more pressure is on you when you do get the game time to actually perform. And the fact that he's broken through that and done so well and put in this consistent run. I mean, it speaks extra more to him because of, you know, that pressure would have been on him to fulfill that potential all the time, knowing, having the fear that's got to be there about another injury. And like Tommy, like we saw examples of this, the try saving tackles, like you say, in that video that goes back a couple of years. And he's just, his tackling ability just on its own. It's I mean, you like stats. If you could somehow measure, it's like sort of like a video game XP rating or something. Like, so you've got the guy carrying the ball, you give him a rating, you give the tackler, like he's at a 99. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the carrier has got to be at that level if he's going to absolutely get past him. If he gets any contact with you at all, like even if his hand slips down, he's not going to give up. He's going to grab your ankle, and you are down once he's near you. I mean, that's no exaggeration, and and to have that, especially a team that's relying on the defensive system as much as Leinster, to have that, just that on the wing, on one wing is amazing. And but we've seen in recent weeks, like you say, what he can do with the ball as well. Strong carries and chips over the top, and you know, carrying just bits of everything. It's like it's. Yeah. You know, you look at he's taken his opportunity. It's tough on you know, you wonder, would he have been in that automatic slot if Jordan Larmour stayed fit? Just going on what had gone before. But listen, again, it's about taking your opportunities when they're there, and he has done that in spades. So what do you make of it, David?
Yeah, it's a position, I'd say, almost across the Leinster team, that 14 hasn't really been a nailed down spot. Almost every other position, almost across the entire squad, maybe the exception of 6, where there's been a bit of rotation as well, with Jack Conan tending to be favoured on the bench. Jordan Larmour has been in and out of that position, but he's had plenty of injuries and plenty of dips in form as well. From, you know, that guy has, I think, almost 30 Irish caps, and he hasn't really been near that level in a long time. So I think, you know, anyone who's been watching Tommy for any number of years knows what he's made of. There was concern, I think I might have even voiced it to you guys at one point, that he was too fast for his own good, that this guy had the kind of pace that not a lot of Irish wingers have, and that he appeared to be for a while a bit of a glass cannon. I think the example, it was earlier in the season, he injured himself scoring a try just in the act of sprinting over. I think he strained his hamstring, and there was a concern that there's no player who's so good that they can outrun a really bad injury record, and it was kind of a concern that might happen to him. Now, having seen what he can do when he puts together a string of games, it really vindicates everyone who's ever had any kind of faith in him, because he's brilliant. Like, going forward and in defense, he's just an excellent player. He seems to have the vision for it. You mentioned keeping the width. He's got the appetite for defense. There was actually, I was rewatching the match this morning, and I actually caught it back. There's a moment, I think it's in the second half. He puts in a tackle to tackle one of the Glasgow players into touch over on the wing, and he momentarily stands over the Glasgow player and gives him a roar. And Geordie Barrett actually comes and grabs him and pulls him away, saying, like, you know, that's enough now, we're done. Let's go before anything else started. But he's got that fire in him.
If an All Black's telling you not to do that, you know it's too.
If Geordie Barrett's telling you to calm down,
yeah.
Whoa, mate, calm down.
Yeah. Don't rub it in the faces, mate.